Good morning.
Hello.
We're here again. You literally made it by the chin of your, or the hair of your chinny
Hair
chin.
of my chinny
yeah,
chin.
I'll get that right.
Don't have any of those yet. Thank goodness. Yeah, no alarm.
You feeling a little rushed?
Just a little off. So, sorry.
It's all right. It's all good.
Freaking out on me, weren't you?
No, I'm actually getting used to you coming in at the
Last possible
minute.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't normally text you. I just woke up.
Yeah. I was just ready. I was just like, well, if I have to go on and you have to slide in when you get here.
I have
Sophia.
no idea if it's sleeping hard, if I'm going deafer, or if there's something weird with my phone. I don't know which one.
None of the three are good choices.
None
right?
of them are good options, but I don't know which one it is either. So I don't know how to fix the problem. Do I go buy like a monstrosity alarm clock?
You need one that like shakes you, goes under your pillow and like vibrates your pillow.
Yep, something to that effect. So good morning, Mom. Maybe you have some suggestions. Oops.
And Donna, wherever you are, hello. But yeah, we're here and it's all good. And
she's got the threads all picked out. I did know we were set up.
Yeah.
So I was at least.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like it's this afternoon when I'm not really sure where we're going to put the cameras. So.
Right.
No, it's
right.
all good.
It was all good from like everything was.
Mm-hmm.
We did that part yesterday.
We did.
But.
So did anything interesting happen between last night and today? No. When we got home yesterday, we were greeted by a FedEx guy in the driveway. You know, I told you that I had ordered like some stuff, right? It wasn't that. Like there was a 99-cent like reusable bag that I needed to get the free shipping, you know, to get the price to where I wanted. That was what came today. They split the order and put the 99-cent bag in a FedEx envelope. And the guy was asking us if we knew where this other address was on our street. It's so dark, I can't find it. And Dave and I are like, I don't think that there is. I don't think there is that address. Right. And but he never did say the name on the package. So he went across the street, and she was like, "No, there is nobody. What's the name on the package?" And she's like, "Oh, that's the people across the street." So he had a second package
for
from
you.
us.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was from my mom, and so she got the address off one. Yes. And but it did make it to us, and
gotta love it.
Yeah, so Dave and I were like, oh, okay. So yeah,
sorry,
it was really funny.
Okay,
so, but that was the highlight of my evening.
Nope. Made dinner when I got home, and I embroidered for a little bit, and I went to bed. I didn't really have much exciting happening last night.
Did the embroidery go okay?
Yeah.
No more lines where they're not supposed to be.
Nothing crazy.
That's good.
No, do I have like a weird hair?
Mm-hmm. One little piece.
There like for my glasses, probably.
Yep. Yeah. There we go.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I have a alfalfa sprout growing out the side of my head.
It was just a little extra loop. It was like you could hang your glasses on it. But I knew it wouldn't stay in.
No, not even a little bit. So, you said you prepped the apron. We talked about it was pretty straightforward.
It is
day to day. So this one's not going to be a hard one.
No.
It's pretty straight and bordery. The lovely crosshair is going to be used again today. That is a great file to have for anything. So using sticky stabilizer is so easy for lots of things. And when you're using blanks, you find the center or wherever you want to go. Having that crosshair, you can use it all kinds of things. And so having that not as a built-in design, you can add it in to any file that you are using for anything. It doesn't have to just be used as a Kimberbell file.
Absolutely.
So it's a really great tool.
They certainly give you enough of them in this one because there seems to be one in
every folder.
But it's the same.
But it's so it's a really nice tool to be able to use. So if you are attempting to sew along, make sure you load your crosshair in there and then hit add and bring in your apron file.
Yep, 2 files in the apron folder if you're looking at your USB stick, and one is the crosshair and one is
there
the
you
color.
go. So I think this is super cute file.
Yes. And hopefully you're not looking at the we talk about how sometimes the colors, especially with Kimberbell, like they don't
always use the color that they want you to stitch with.
Right. It's
in
just
the color list.
Yeah, it's just random colors.
Actually, very often they're not using the color they want you to stitch with in that color list. And that was one of the things as I was stitching my Candy Cane Lane, and I went back and I looked after we had that question.
Yeah.
And it says in the directions very clearly, what color, because they have the little squares. It doesn't give you a stitch red, but it gives you a box that's red.
Yeah.
So there's no
they leave a lot to be interpreted.
They do, which is nice. You don't feel like you have to have a exact color in your thread drawer. And a exact brand, because they only provide one color number or something to that effect.
Yeah.
But I think there's two very different sides of that coin. Some people love being told, you need this exact color.
Yes.
Because they don't want to have to figure it out.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and then there's I want to pick them out on my own, just give me a guide, and then I'm great. Yep. So it could go either.
Yes.
Either way, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my own thing unless it's a tiling scene, and I don't want to.
You don't want to do all that work and then have it go. Oh,
right.
That didn't blend like I thought it was.
Yeah, I don't want to blend that by myself. That's harder than quilt math.
Yeah, which software you could pull a chart and get a visual, by choosing different colors and at least get it kind of away, but that's still not going to come out exactly like you would expect it to on screen versus your on screen colors are never exactly what they're going to be when you stitch them out. So
and today I changed my colors. I'm 100% positive if you were making this apron for yourself, you would probably change the pink out as well. So I did change my pink to like an aqua teal color.
There won't be pink in my apron.
I didn't suspect that there would be. I contemplated purple this morning, but it didn't really mesh with the other colors.
Did you change it on screen?
I did not. This is what it looks like when you turn it on the screen.
Interesting.
It's very interesting colors today. But I did not notice at first glance that the actual holidays word
is two colors.
Was two colors. I can clearly see that now. I did not notice it at first. I did have to take a second little glance.
Yeah, that's a lot of pink.
It is. And it's very clear now that the one side of the holiday part is definitely
a different color.
Pink. I noticed the bake was two different colors, but I definitely missed that the holidays was two-tone. It totally makes sense now. I just read it as red.
Very interesting.
It's green and gold here.
Yep. So we are going to get going.
Yes.
So just some embroidery today. There is no applique work in this file. It's just changing thread colors. So the hardest thing you're going to do is line up your apron to where to put it.
Yeah.
So
I already scored the paper.
Okay.
And I used sticky tearaway instead of sticky wash away today.
So we talked about that a little bit yesterday too, when we were doing the little bit of prep work that we did when we were talking about, okay, well, what do we have to do to prep this? So the sticky tearaway versus sticky wash away. And, one is a little bit more expensive than the other. The wash away is one of the most expensive stabilizer rolls available. And Kimberbell definitely likes, it's really weird. It's separated.
It was rolled very tightly.
Where it was at on the roll. But
they like that one.
They definitely like the sticky wash away, and you'll see that in a lot of their projects, especially in the Bella box. For some reason, that is like a go-to in the Bella box, and sometimes you absolutely need it. When we did the folio on the last one, I did a bunch of different ones just to see how it would work and how this would work versus that. And wow, that one folio took so many hoopings, and they had you using that sticky wash away on every
Mm-hmm.
different piece. So I was like, well, what can I use here and what can I use there, and those kinds of things that to try to lower the cost of that one hooping. And there were some places that, okay, that one's not going to show. So
yeah.
that one I used tearaway, just a standard tearaway on, and you know, there was different places, but you definitely can look at, okay, where's this going to end up? You know, and even yesterday we talked about, okay, this is going to go on the inside of a wine bag. No one's going to see the inside of that. So
Yeah.
do you really need to use a wash away?
Yeah.
Not necessary.
And I just want to say, like, if I were doing this at home, so I'm doing it this way because this is kind of the Kimberbell way. I would definitely do this differently. I would use my magnetic hoop.
And you would use a tearaway.
I would use a standard heavy
tear
tearaway. Yeah. And I would hoop the two pieces together, and I would use my projector to line up my crosshairs with my centering design. So there are a lot of different ways that you can do that. And the reason that I would do it that way is because that will tear away very clean on the outside edges of these letters. And because they're satin stitch letters, just a little bit, it will help
with the tunneling.
Right. You know, I think the reason they probably chose wash away is because you can get the apron itself is relatively thin. So we may see a little bit of shadowing where the tearaway is still stuck to the fabric. So just as full disclosure, when you're doing this, these are the reasons why
what you could end up with if you choose a different type.
That's right. Right. Versus a sticky tearaway, because the tearaway, it is sticky. So it's
not going to just come away by itself really fast, where yes, as you wash it, it will eventually disappear, but it being sticky, it's going to stay there a little bit longer than having a just standard tearaway.
Absolutely.
Yep. So that being said, we are using the tearaway.
We are going to use the tearaway. Yes.
You can use many different ones depending upon how you are putting it in the hoop.
Yep.
If you are not using sticky, you would need to put the apron in the hoop, not just floating it on top.
Yes. And the first thing that it stitches out is the little green tree. So I went ahead and loaded my green thread for the tree. So that's what we're going to stitch our crosshairs out on. So I'll just push the button here.
She has that all done.
You know, I know it's very riveting to watch the crosshairs.
It is. Because good morning. We're going to wake you up by watching this.
Yes.
I'm awake now.
Yes.
That is one thing about waking up like that. You wake up fast. Look at it fall in my butt when I jumped out of bed. It's like, oh my God.
And then we're going to stick our apron. This apron is huge. It is really, really, really long. It is almost too long for me. It goes down to like my shins.
That's long?
It's very long, yes. So
it's one of those when you walk, you kick it?
You could definitely.
Absolutely.
So I did kind of bunch up. I pinned the bottom up just a little bit. So there's some wonder clips in there. So if it doesn't,
gotcha.
That's why.
That's why, because it's way down.
Yes, and I like tripped over. I was like tripping over the straps, and it was hanging on the ground, and I was like, we're gonna step all over this while it's embroidering. So I did pin it up a little bit.
That makes perfect sense. So even if you are really tall when you're embroidering, it might be in your way. So that's where that's coming from. So if you want to clip or pin that up, and so it's not going to be under your feet while you're embroidering is what she's saying. Get it up out of the way so you don't end up with shoe prints on the bottom of it.
And I did mine like right away when I was at the ironing board pressing everything, just because like I said, it was super long. So she does have you roll it later on, but you might want to do it earlier.
Right away so that you can keep it from getting,
because it's really long. Feels abnormally long. Like this was, they're for giants. It's a giant apron.
Well, it's nice that if you are tall that you get the length.
Yes. It's going to be, I think, long on everybody. Even, it would be long on Dave. It would be past his knees, I'm sure.
Well, we're messy people, right?
Yes,
Must apparently. Be that's for messy people.
Yes. So
anyway, real quick, I'm going to talk about, so we did the the crosshair piece. So let's real quick talk about how to fold to get that into the center of your hoop. So where we're going to align in that crosshair. From the, slide these around. So Sarah's already done that. So I'm not going to undo her work. I'm just going to talk about it real quick. So we have a pretty side to pretty side fold in half. And then 6 inches down, which is step number 7 on page, what are we on? Page 5. And you're going to fold that down, and that is going to be your crosshair right there. So that is the fold. So in half and then 6 inches down. And remember, we talked a little bit about that. I like to use my ruler and then just come down, put that ruler right inside. That's how I do it. I don't like to use pins in there. It just makes more work, in my opinion. I just put my ruler in there and then fold down as I go. So we are going to take that fold, and we are now at the top of page 6 in your instructions. And I'm so sorry, pardon me. We are going to take that fold and put it in the bottom right quadrant of our crosshair. All right, give that a nice press so that it stays in, and then just open.
I did use a little bit of best press on the apron this morning. It could still be a little bit damp if that's why.
I'm not feeling anything.
Okay.
I'll look way over here. But not in this. I'm like, as I say that, I'm like, oh, I just hit a cold spot.
Yeah, it was really wrinkly. There were some really good creases.
And then, of course, smooth that so that you have a nice smooth, and you can very clearly see that green thread right through there. All right, and then smooth that out so you can see right where you wanted that to go. At this point in your instructions, she is now telling you to take and clip up the bottom so that you don't have that excess hanging down too far. There is a clip over here. I don't know if you guys could hear it hitting. Just make sure that that's not getting caught underneath. The same with the other side strap as we are. Put that up and over the embroidery arm. There's a lot of apron here to go
There's
around.
A lot of apron, yeah. Probably could like hang that in the little pocket thing there. As like I said, there was a lot of apron. This side as well. Probably could use like 5 more clips.
I was gonna say I'll just that should be okay over there.
Yeah. That
all right. Okay, so once we have that, again, make sure all of your excess pieces and parts are not underneath your hoop, and make sure that you have everything tucked somewhere that it will remain outside of your hoop. So make sure you've smoothed everything out of the way, and we literally are going to leave that in the hoop at this point. We're not going to be moving the hoop back and forth. So just keep an eye on all of those random parts, especially the ones that are up on the top, and make sure that as the hoop is moving, it's not pulling anything in underneath. Yep. We literally are just going to be changing threads from here forward. So we're going to start with the little tree, and we're just going to hit go because we already have our green thread in there. So there is no loft on here, so there's not really going to be any advantage to putting a topper on there. You're not going to see any difference. So just start stitching.
Seems tiny.
It does not seem overly large.
fresh bobbin in.
It's got lots of stitches going on.
It does.
So we have the holiday celebration this afternoon. So we will be doing the card and mug rug walkthroughs this afternoon. And then at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Yep. And then we have a day off because I won't be here tomorrow.
Yeah, nothing tomorrow.
And then Friday, we will be doing the envelope and card in the morning. And gift boxes in the afternoon.
Yep.
Yep. That is a very cute little tree.
It is a very cute number.
All right. So next is going to be our little gingerbread friend. And we just have a little row of threads down here. So Sarah's grabbed the next one in line and rethreading there. Her beautiful arm.
Can you believe it's going to be almost 60 today? I mean, this is just kind of crazy for like the middle of December. My Facebook reminded me that a few years ago it was like snowing like crazy this week. That was our last year in our new house.
I'm wondering, I feel like it's 60 or not, because you just never know with me.
True. It's already 43, a high of 57. I got a new, so you know how the Apple Watches, you can customize them. You probably know from like,
The screen, what
screen.
you want on the screen.
Yeah. So there's a new one on here. I can now add the camera. So yesterday the cat was sitting on my lap and he was like rubbing his face, like on my hand. He wanted me to pet him, and I look over at my phone, and all of a sudden the camera is recording. Like my phone is sitting on my like my TV
he hit
stand.
the button on
He hit the button on my watch, which told my phone to start recording. Yes. And so because I look over and my phone lit up, and it's you know, the screen is up, so it's basically recording the TV stand, the bottom of the TV stand. So it's just a blur of white, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to be really careful with this.
Wow. That could be very scary.
It could be very scary, yes. But you know, like we were talking before when we're like videotaping, doing certain things with like the feet videos and stuff like that, you know, when you have to hit the button on the phone, it jiggles the phone ever so slightly. So I was like, oh, this will be
That'll
nice.
be nice to stop. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think we need eyes.
You need buttons and eyes, I think.
I think I'm going to use this dark gray. Probably should get it out of
the tie off place.
Yep. I'll regret that.
That would probably be bad.
So now we're just embellishing our little gingerbread man. He kind of looks like Chewbacca from here.
Pew, pew.
Right?
That was so funny. He said he came around a corner and he was like, pew, pew. He goes, can't believe I just did that. All right.
That'd be tiny little buttons.
Little smiley face and not the gumdrop buttons. Sorry. Oh, the little things.
We don't get out enough, do we?
Do you know that reference?
Yes.
That is a great movie. That was a Shrek reference for all of you out there who do not know what that one is.
Yeah, we had another one the other day from Shrek, wasn't it? Like it was Antonio Banderas, the Puss in Boots guy. Didn't we say something?
Was it like last week when I wasn't here?
I feel like it was you were here because I feel like
I knew what it was.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I think it felt like it had to do with a sword.
Could very well have been. I would definitely have recognized a Shrek reference. My kids watch that on repeat in my car. So I could practically go through the entire movie. I wouldn't necessarily know what the screen looked like, but I could tell you the words for that one and The Incredibles. Those were the two that were practically on repeat in the car. This actually has a lot of stitches in it.
I know, right? There's like almost 17,000 stitches in this apron. It's a lot of stitches.
For a little apron. I mean, it's not that small.
No, the design is the whole thing
it's not tiny.
No, it's just these guys are little. But I mean, they kind of got to be little in order to fit in with the rest of the design.
Yep. Holidays are what you bake them.
Yes.
I had a Christmas cookie for breakfast on the drive here.
Did you?
I grabbed one and I went, okay. Yep, sure did. I had a star, as a matter of fact, and it was yellow. Looked pretty similar to that one.
Yeah. You're having a little foresight, seeing what was coming.
Evidently. It was the first one my hand landed on.
So your holiday cooking, baking went well?
Yeah, it was. We
You didn't have your new cookie cutters in time, did you?
Nope. No, it was very disappointing.
Did Mom get any interesting cookies named after her this year? No.
No, we discussed that. But nope. She just got her name on there this year. I wrote the names with a standard icing tip. With our frosting this year is something different. We keep trying something else. You know, one year I wrote.
We came unthreaded.
We did. I'm like, that didn't sound right.
No.
All right. Carolyn's here.
Is that her beep beep?
I'm assuming it's her beep beep. Oh yeah, look at that. I didn't lock the door behind me.
Well, that's good for her.
Well, because that's why I didn't do that. All right, you backed up already?
I did. Okay. Apparently, I backed up to just the right spot before it was going to move.
Alrighty then.
That was funny.
What was I saying?
We were talking about different icing tips.
Oh, right. So we've tried like the decorators, icing. We've tried gel.
Came on through again.
Maybe it's.
Is the nail getting sticky?
Maybe. It doesn't feel like it.
You know what? It's wrapped here. This is why. It's got like a funny.
It's got a loop here.
It does. It has an extra loop.
That will do it. Good old cook. Good for something.
I don't have that stand real high. I think it's probably feeding off of it a little bit weird.
All right. We'll just help it for a second. It's done.
Yeah.
That's why I gave up. I was like, okay, we're done. Sure.
All right. So the handles for
Rolling pin.
the rolling pin are going to be dark gray. Maybe she's busy.
She's doing receipts, but she usually walks across and sits her stuff down. All right, so little handles are going to get stitched next. And then the rolling pin is after that. You're going back to that?
Yeah. It's an interesting color.
Yeah. Looks like it's part of the applique color. Must have been the closest match. Go figure. But yeah, my mom had her screen door installed the same day. She got a new slider because she was having some problems with it. And that gentleman came right when we were baking the first batch. And we didn't hear the timer go off. And so they got overcooked. It was very sad. So severely overcooked, unfortunately. So one batch of cookies that were in the oven
A little bit too long.
were a little bit overdone there. But so we are using the same brown that we did the gingerbread in for the rolling pin.
I think I want my pinstripes on my rolling pin to be blue.
Okay. And after that is the R what you. Okie dokie. This is riveting, isn't it?
I know, right? I wish we
Are you
could
guys
be
excited?
magic and we could like
Hit the speed box.
right.
So yeah, I don't really have anything else exciting to discuss.
No.
Unfortunately.
Yes. Anybody else started their Bella box yet?
You guys waiting for us to stitch them all first? Somebody all done? All right, so we're gonna go around the outside. We like to do that.
And triple stitch.
It's a nice edge. Finishes it off nicely.
Something wrong?
Nope. Jean said maybe he was going to.
Could have been. Yeah, he did say that. Wasn't sure.
Okie dokie. So now we have the little decorative stripes on the rolling pin, and we're going to do those in that 903.
Yep.
Seems to be the Kimberbell color.
It kind of matches your color.
Yeah.
Dave was really surprised that I didn't buy that color, and I was like, everybody at work's cup is the same color. So.
I need to get something that I'll know is mine.
Yeah. I really wanted that hot pink one, but they were sold out everywhere.
Where'd you go?
A couple of different places, and couldn't find it online either.
Okay, next we have the words "are what you," and she has selected gray.
Yep.
The dark gray. So we're going to rethread with that.
Well, I could find hot pink in little. I just didn't want a little.
You wanted the bigger one. All right, here we go. And the decorative detail on, so like the green that's there, is what is the next piece.
So I think I'm going to do mine
the red.
these two colors. Yeah.
Alrighty then. That didn't cut well. That's not quite.
Might be a little bit of fun in there.
Might be just a little bit.
Hi, Gwen.
Hello.
This font reminds me of the Ray Dunn font a little bit.
What's that E?
No, you like it a little more symmetrical.
It's not my favorite. At least this is large enough that you can tell it's an E.
Mm-hmm.
When it's really tiny, it doesn't look good. That is the same font they used in Halloween on the houses and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was very small and it was hard. Part of it was on leather and it just sunk into leather.
Yeah.
I'm like, are we there yet? No.
Are we done yet?
What are we doing?
Are you guys bored yet?
It's just so riveting. I always have to laugh at what it does where.
Yeah.
It's like, why does it decide to cut here but not there? And
yeah, what was we need like to pick the brain of the guy who programmed the settings for like the distance of stuff.
Yep.
Can you explain what you were thinking when you did this?
mm-hmm.
Because it's wrong.
You weren't thinking very clearly. Let me
No.
help you.
Let me help you.
Let me help you.
Tell you why this is wrong.
You really should have asked me. All right. So the next color is going to be the decorative edges on the word holidays. And so Sarah's going to do that in red. So we're going to rethread with that. Edge of that apron is just right where it shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys. So this isn't going to really look like a whole lot for a second. It's just the edges of the letters. Not that you can see what it's stitching at all right now. There's a straight line. Jinx.
And a curved line.
Uh-huh.
And then some more curved lines.
You were just faster than me because that's exactly what I was going to say. There's a curved line. There's Dot.
Mm-hmm. Here comes another curved line. This is like NASCAR.
Right? Making another corner.
No offense to anybody who likes NASCAR. NASCAR and golf are kind of weird things for me to watch it on TV.
Yeah. We went to Indy 500. It's very loud. It's not a whole lot different than watching it on TV.
Mm-mm.
They just go around in circles.
Mm-hmm. The crowd is sometimes very interesting.
Yep. There's a lot of people there.
A lot of people. It's really good.
A lot of celebrities.
Yeah.
Actually. But traffic was absolutely insane. But we had a good time, but it wasn't really my thing. The kids have really enjoyed it though. That was my car watching. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Got to do a lot of fun things with McDonald's. random things that reps would send you, and you know, hey, I've got tickets to this. You want to go? Sure. How many tickets you got? Can I take my family?
Yeah. I didn't really enjoy watching car race, but I did enjoy Derby. That was really fun. We watched Camper Derby one time. That was really fun. They had like big like little Class C's and stuff rolling around.
Yeah.
It was funny. It was very funny.
I could see that. Yep. I know that grandparents took kids to lunch and they had fun with that. But there are a lot of golf with McDonald's, a lot of different, outings that proceeds went to. Usually it was Ronald McDonald's house.
Yeah.
Things, which was fun. I'm not very good at golf. Me either. I can drive fairly well. And there's, the women's tee is farther up. So on some holes, I can drive pretty straight down the middle. So if I had a pretty good lead, and then sometimes that we would use my drive because I would be right in the middle of the fairway, and they could go pretty good, but theirs would have a hook or a slice, and you just never knew where theirs would end up.
Yeah.
But
Dave used to go to the driving range with my dad sometimes, and one time I went, and it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. So Dave did not own his own golf clubs, so of course he rented a driver from them, right? He broke 2 of them. Like, he went to swing at the ball, and you just saw part of the golf thing going, like the whole tip of it just went flying to the other thing. And so after the second time, I look over at Dave, and he's just throwing the golf balls. Because he had given up trying to hit it with the driver. My dad's like in oblivion. I was just dying laughing.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. You should have videoed that.
I was like, oh my goodness, this is like
That's fantastic.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I don't know why people do this. I'm not really sure if I'm going to like this or not, but I'm going to try it.
Okay. She's going with the 903.
Oh, thank you. It's an apron. Sometimes you just gotta go for it.
There you go. Yeah. Colorful. For not liking mint, it looks a lot like mint. Okay, we'll go with that. feel lighter? I got that haircut and I will still just be flat to my head.
Yeah.
Pretty. Yep.
I feel like we should have something really exciting to talk about.
Running out of things to say. I can't talk about what I'm doing for Christmas.
Right.
So that's all I've been. That's all I got to talk about. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah. I need to make. I have my hair appointed on Saturday. New hair girl. I need to make something for her for Christmas. I think that'd be nice. Is it cheating if I recycle the same type of gift that I'm using new hair girl?
I don't think so. Just keep that little tidbit to yourself. It's all good.
Fails.
It never fails. Absolutely right. Yeah, no, it's. I think that's just fine.
Just fine.
Yep. Yep, I got all of the things that I was doing for people done.
Did you get all your patches done?
Mm-hmm. And delivered.
And delivered.
Yep, the robe that I had the one left of. She said December. And I don't know what part of December it's done. I've given her a message. I've sent her a second message. I hope we didn't miss it. Still at my
Your
house.
mom said I'll sign off so you can talk about gifts.
It's fine, Mom. But yeah, so I've been doing random things, but I still need to go through and make sure I've got what I need. Caitlin's birthday is Friday, and she wants a birthday sash so that she can wear to school. So we went through the fabric. She picked out just solid red fabric. What color would you like the words them?
What color do I want them to be? Gray?
If you want.
Sure. Gray it is. Like we have somebody spamming us. Done.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Alligator.
Come a long way when people are spamming us. Is that how you know you've made it?
Made it big, right? It must be big. We got people posting randomness on there.
This is pretty. Thanks. See my glasses? I have the little sewing machines and the little
Those are
notions.
super cute.
Aren't they?
Very, very cute. Got your tomato pin cushion, your measuring tape.
Yep. There's even some yarn.
Yep. With knitting needles stabbed in them.
Right.
So yes, Caitlin has literally asked me every time I've seen her, my sash done? Except she doesn't know what to call it. Is my done?
Yeah.
And I said, I might forget to do it if you don't stop asking. She was like, that's not very nice. I said, neither is it very nice to be asked literally every 10 minutes. I'm starting to get annoyed. She's like, oh. I'm like, I haven't forgotten. I literally have a lot of things I'm doing. I haven't forgotten. I'm working on it. Just chill out.
Every time I think of a sash, I told you about the homemaker sash, right? So at the old place that I used to work, there was a gal and she entered in a bunch of stuff at the state fair, and she won homemaker of the year. but her sash said homemaker, so maker was spelled wrong, and she didn't know it. So she's like showing me the pictures, and she's wearing it, and I'm like, you know
what that says,
right? That I'm like, and so from then on, she was the homemaker. I couldn't call her anything else but the homemaker. So every time I see a sash, that's exactly what I think of. Is
I get it.
Yeah, homemaker.
Yeah, she just wants me to say happy birthday, Caitlin.
Yeah.
I think actually, she told me she wanted to say happy birthday, K, just the letter K. How about just do happy birthday?
K.
But I'm like, well, let's see what fits. And so I got the sash made. The ends aren't finished yet, but and then I'm just gonna cut letters and fuse.
Yeah, that would be a lot easier than trying to.
So. All right.
This is like the longest stitch out now.
I know, right? All right. So this one's going to be a few minutes. This is the large letters bake. And, sure. Yes, my watch says it's time to start moving too.
Right? See if I can turn my camera on.
I'm not going to walk right now. Thank you.
No.
Nope. So big letters, but they're not satin stitches, so shouldn't see any big tunnels. That's a good thing.
Nice underlay fill under.
Yep. That's a good thing. Again, that you guys can see that super well. The weight of that is like that. So yeah, I need to use that scan and cut and cut some letters out, fuse those on, and a couple more days. I figured tomorrow's just going to be one of those get up and sew all day days.
Yeah. What did you make her sash out of?
Silky solids, bread. She wanted bread.
Did you use your serger?
I did not actually. I did not. I was sewing on my sewing machine, so I was already sitting there.
Yeah.
So I was sewing some other things, and so it was just in the pile.
Yeah.
I did make some other things on my serger this week, though. There's no machine that in my sewing room that has not gotten some love over the last little bit. Everything has gotten love.
You don't want one to start getting mad.
Nope.
I need to get a longer extension cord to get everything plugged in.
Yeah.
You know, the problem with having everything right next to each other is that there's
so many options.
Right?
Right.
And so, you know, I have a cord for each of the cabinets and the sewing machine. So there's double the amount of cords.
Right.
Dave's like, why do you have so many cords under here? I'm like, cabinet and machine. And I'm like, I could not plug in the cabinet one, but then I literally have to crawl back underneath the table to plug it in if I wanted to.
If you wanted to move the position.
It. Right. I'm like, so it just makes sense to keep them all plugged in right now. So.
Yep.
That's lots of cords.
That is a few.
Yes. And of course, you've met my husband, so you know that he's not fond of more than one extension cord.
Yep. Yeah, I know, Dave. That's yep.
So he's like, he found one on Amazon that was like, I don't know, there's like 20 on it.
Outlets,
yeah. And then I was like, well, can I have one extra one that comes up on the table that I only use like when I want to plug in that has like USB ports? And he's like, yeah, I think I can live with that. I'm like, gotta make a barter.
What do I gotta do for it?
What am I gonna have to? How can I say this so that it sounds like it's his idea?
Right. And I look at Jeff when he walks into my sewing. What are you doing up here? You're not supposed to be up here. Why? What are you doing? Nothing.
Yeah. We we haven't seen, we have hardly seen Felix, our little gray cat, in like 2 days. I believe that he's our expert mouse hunter. I believe there must be a mouse in David's side of the basement, but he keeps that door closed. And so he has been camped out in front of that door for 2 straight days.
He just wants in, huh?
He wants in, yeah. I said to David, I'm like, shouldn't you just open the door and let him at it so that we can at least take the mouse outside? And, and he's like, no.
Nope, not happening.
Nope. He's not being a jerk to anybody else right now, so. He's
occupied, right? No doubt.
Yeah, every time he jumped on the bed last night, I kept thinking, don't let there be a mouse in your mouth.
Isn't it fun when they bring you presents?
Yeah, he doesn't, and he doesn't kill them. It's like a toy. So, and he likes to play fetch. So he will bring it.
Yes, I understand.
And I'm like, oh God.
Fred hasn't brought me anything lately, but yes, he likes to bring me things.
Yeah.
Mine are generally dead though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Felix hasn't gotten. I'm grateful that they're not dead, but and I am quite amazed at a mouse's ability to play dead. So I know a couple of times they're little itty bitty ones, like in the middle of the room, and so I have
sweep
like,
them up or whatever to take them out, and they start moving.
Well, and they not until I get them outside. So we have like a Tupperware bowl in the room just for this purpose.
Oh my!
Because it's happened more than once when we live outside. We don't live outside.
There's
all kinds of So I scoop them up and I take them out, and I always put them on this bale of hay because they always seem to still be alive, and even though they don't look it. And then all of a sudden, when you set them out on the bale,
they scurry away.
And you see like they'll be on their back, and then they like flip over onto their legs, and then they're like, did you see that? So I'm just grateful that Dave does not buy them habitats anymore, because at the old house when that used to happen, he would buy a mouse habitat and he would put the mouse in there so that the cat would be entertainment for the cat, and then he would just feed this poor outside field mouse inside.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the field mouse, he had a wheel in there. And so
run
all night long, because of course everybody was asleep at night and you couldn't see him. You couldn't find him during the day. You knew he was there because the food disappeared. So I'm glad we're not at that point anymore. At least we take them outside.
We have mice because we're same.
Yeah,
we have acreage, and so they get in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we have some in the basement. We don't have any upstairs, to my knowledge. Fred looked. I let him upstairs because I got tired of him barking. So I'm like, okay, let's go outside. So I took him outside. I'm like, okay, all right, let's go upstairs. Behave yourself. And he walked around, and I kept following him because I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah. You look guilty.
He had to smell everything, and I was like, don't lift your leg. Don't you lift your leg. And he finally came and he just laid down right where I couldn't move. I'm like, son of a gun. I needed to,
And then you felt bad.
And then I was like, don't move the chair. And I'm reaching, I'm like, okay, this is not working. So I brought a chair over and I put him in the chair. Then that worked for a little while. Then he got up and walked around again, and I was like, son of a gun. This isn't working. But he finally laid down, and anyway, so I finally did get some stuff done with Fred in the room, but Fred is the one that always brings me presents. And I have not been brought a mouse, but I know he's killed mice.
Yeah.
But he doesn't bring those in for whatever reason. But I have gotten a bat. I have gotten birds. I have gotten bunnies. He's killed snakes, but he's never brought one in. But he has killed snakes. It's what they do, right?
Yeah, it is what they do.
What are you accenting with? The blue.
I know this is hard to imagine.
We're gonna do it again. Yay! Almost there, guys.
Almost done.
One little color left. All right, so this is just going to do an accent right on the top of those letters there. And that is the last color. Anything important?
Checker. They're having a sale. Year-end sale on fabric. No, not anything important.
Oh, halfway through.
Yeah.
Almost.
One more line. And then some lines and some curves and some more lines.
I know this has been totally riveting this morning, guys.
Right. Everybody's going to be making their own homemaker sashes.
Yep. Totally.
There's a curve line. 2 curves.
It'd be in the middle. And then 4 straight lines.
4 straight lines, yes.
So obviously you guys can play with colors to be whatever you like. Have some fun with it and make it traditional if you want. Make it your favorite colors if you want. It doesn't have to be Christmas colors. They can be whatever you would like. Have a little bit of fun. And again, this is a very straightforward design. It took about, I don't know, 45 minutes to stitch it.
Yeah.
Because we yacked for a few minutes before we actually got going there.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest thing, like we said, was getting it centered. So center 6 inches down, rock and roll, and you've got that all there. The only thing that's left is when you go to take this out, whenever you use if you want to pop over here for just a second, whenever you use a crosshair, there is generally going to be a little place where it won't come apart from that because of the stitch line. So you'll possibly need to cut. Let's try it this way. I think that's the one that's going to show. So when we go to try to remove from the stitching, it's not necessarily going to. So you sometimes need to trim a little bit at that stitch to get it to release from the stabilizer.
Yep.
Outside of that, it's literally just tear away and you are all set. If you are rinsing, same thing is going to happen. You are going to need to cut as close as possible, but you'll need to snip right at that stitch line of the crosshairs so that you can get it to remove away, because those won't just come off by their own.
Absolutely.
So that is literally all there is to this project. Very, very straightforward, but very cute. And it's ready to get dirty, because white is always
super cute.
So there you go.
All right, lots of fun.
So when you bake your cookies, we accept little samples here.
We do.
So just kidding. I'm on a diet. Are you still on a diet, or did you give up?
No, I'm still trying to be very good. I wouldn't call it necessarily a diet, but
just watching it.
I am definitely. I have definitely changed my eating habits. I did not eat that pie yesterday, just in case anybody was wondering.
Yeah, husband packed her lunch yesterday and put a pie in there.
Boston pie. Yes. I guess the good thing about being busy is that I also didn't have time, so
right.
I wasn't tempted.
Yeah. So, but we're getting there. 2 out of 6-ish.
Yes.
We're cruising through.
Plugging along.
So please join us this afternoon. Those are going to be just like this. We are not doing a Zoom class for those. It's going to be right here, just like we're doing on here. So live on either YouTube or Facebook. So there's no link that you guys will need to do. So
you'll have the information that you can refer back to. You don't have to worry about losing a link.
Right.
And look through your stuff. And if you have any questions, we'll be there answering those live as well.
Sounds like a plan. So maybe we'll see you this afternoon. Maybe we'll see you on Friday morning, but we'll see you sometime. Thanks. We'll see you guys
Bye.
later. Bye.